It's kind of wild when you think about it. This book, Their Eyes Were Watching God, is a total classic now, right? Like, it's up there with the greats of American literature. But initially, it wasn't like that at all. People were confused. Some even dismissed it completely.
Yeah, I mean, imagine being a critic back then and reading about a town completely run by Black people, like Eatonville. One reviewer even questioned if such a place could exist.
It really shows you the mindset back then.
Yeah.
And it makes its success even more impressive. It went from being doubted to being called the best Black novel of its time and a bestseller.
It's a testament to its power, its timelessness. It speaks to something universal that transcends those initial biases.
So we're diving deep into this one today, right? This is the deep dive where we unpack all sorts of fascinating stuff. Today, it's Zora Neale Hurston's Their Eyes Were Watching God.
Mm-hmm.
And you've brought the book itself, of course, and some really interesting critical perspectives to the table.
Absolutely. We're going to look at it from all angles.
Our mission, should we choose to accept it, is to explore Janie Crawford's journey. Her search for her own voice, her place in the world, all against the backdrop of this rich cultural setting.
It's a journey of self-discovery, of love, of loss, and ultimately of finding your own strength.
Whether you're a first-time reader or coming back to it, we're aiming to give you some real insights into this important work. So one of the things that struck me right off the bat is how the story is told. Janie's sharing her whole life with Phoebe, but it's all in flashback.
Right. It makes you wonder about the effect of memory, right? Is her voice as strong when it's filtered through time and reflection?
Like, is it truly her direct experience, or does it get softened, shaped by looking back?
That's such a great question, and it's one that literary critics have debated for ages. On one hand, you could say there's a loss of immediacy, but there's another way to see it too. By choosing to tell her story, by shaping the narrative, Janie's actually taking control.
Oh, I see what you're saying. It becomes an act of agency in itself.
Exactly. She's deciding what to emphasize, how to frame it, and ultimately what meaning her past holds. It's powerful.
It's like she's not just reliving it passively. She's actively processing and understanding it through this act of storytelling.
Yeah.
And we see pretty early on that finding her voice isn't easy for Janie. Her marriage to Logan Killicks, for example.
Oh, Logan. Such a pragmatic man.
Right. He's all about the land, about practicality, about getting things done. But Janie, she has this idealistic vision of marriage.
Remember that pear tree imagery? All that sweetness and light, the promise of something more?
She wants a love that's fulfilling, a marriage that's sweet. But Logan, he just doesn't see it that way. And her nanny, bless her heart, she comes from a place of wanting security for Janie.
You have to remember the historical context. Nanny lived through slavery. Security was everything.
Right, so she pushes Janie into this marriage thinking it'll provide stability, but it's not what Janie wants, not emotionally.
There's a line where Janie tells Nanny she doesn't want to be the only one doing the wanting in the relationship. She wants a partner, not just a provider.
It's like she's invisible to Logan in a way. Her desires just don't register. And then along comes Jody Starks, full of charisma and big plans. He sweeps her off her feet.
Jody, the ambitious one, he wants to build something, to leave his mark. And he does, becoming mayor and making Janie Mrs. Mayor Starks.
There's a sense of elevation there, right? Like he's putting her on a pedestal. But that pedestal soon turns into a cage, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Jody's need for control, it extends to every aspect of Janie's life. What she wears, how she speaks, even how she laughs. He silences her in public, wants her to be this perfect image of a mayor's wife.
And that whole thing with her hair, too.
Ah, her beautiful hair. Such a powerful symbol in the novel.
It's like this incredibly personal thing that becomes a possession for Jody. It's meant to be admired, not truly appreciated for what it means to Janie.
It's a way of controlling her identity, her self-expression. We see glimpses of Janie resisting those moments of quiet rebellion. But outwardly, she conforms. It's heartbreaking.
There's a line that really stood out to me. The spirit of the marriage left the bedroom and took to living in the parlor. It becomes this public performance for the town, and Janie's real self is hidden away.
Exactly. And then tea cake enters the picture, and it's like a breath of fresh air. Suddenly there's laughter, there's genuine companionship. He sees her, truly sees her.
They play checkers, they fish, they work together, they just enjoy each other's company. It's a completely different kind of love.
It's transformative for Janie. She experiences a kind of freedom and joy she's never known before.
But it's not all perfect, is it? There's that incident with tea cake's jealousy.
Right. It's a reminder that even in the most loving relationships, there can be moments of pain and complexity. Real life is messy, and Hurston doesn't shy away from that.
And it's through those experiences, the good and the bad, that Janie's self-awareness really blossoms.
It's a process of growth. She learns to recognize when a relationship isn't serving her anymore. She leaves Logan, she stands up to Jody, and even after T-Cake's tragic end, she carries this strength with her.
It's like each relationship teaches her something about herself, about what she truly wants. And that's reflected in her language, too. Hurston really emphasizes the different ways men and women talk in Eatonville.
That's one of the brilliant things about this novel. It's not just what people say, but how they say it.
Like, right from the beginning, we get that contrast between the communal they of the porch sitters and Janie's singular return.
It sets the stage for the whole novel. The porch is this space for public discourse, where the men dominate the conversation. Their language is often boastful, performative. It's about establishing a hierarchy.
You see it in the way they talk about Matt Bonner's mule, how they dissect every aspect of it.
And it's not just the mule. It's Jody's pronouncements as mayor, the way he uses language to assert his authority. It's all part of this masculine performance.
And Janie, she's expected to stay silent, right? When she tries to join in the mule talk, Jody shuts her down.
He tells her it's trashy, not befitting a mayor's wife. He wants her to be seen and not heard, to conform to his image of respectability.
It's like her voice is literally stifled in those public male-dominated spaces. But her inner world, her thoughts and her conversations with Phoebe, those are full of depth and feeling.
Absolutely. There's this beautiful contrast between the men's outward pronouncements and Janie's internal reflections. It speaks to the different ways they experience and process the world.
And then you have these really interesting verbal traditions on the porch, like signifying and playing the dozens.
Ah, yes, the art of verbal sparring. It's all about wit and wordplay, playful insults, and exaggeration. It's fascinating, isn't it?
So explain it to me like I'm on that porch trying to keep up. What's going on with all this?
So imagine you're sitting there, right? It's hot, everyone's relaxed, and someone starts throwing out these clever, often indirect insults. It's all in good fun, but there's an art to it.
It's like a game.
Exactly. Signifying involved wordplay, double meanings, and veiled meanings. It's a way to tease, to make a point, to critique even, but all with this layer of humor and indirection.
I'm starting to get it. So what about playing the dozens? Is that part of the same thing?
Yeah, it's a specific form of signifying. This one is all about trading insults, often about each other's families. But it's not meant to be truly hurtful. It's a way to test boundaries, to show off your verbal skills, to be clever and quick-witted. The person with the best comeback wins.
It sounds like a verbal duel, like a battle of wits. But how does Janie, who's so often silenced in public, fit into all this?
That's the interesting thing. She develops her own ways of pushing back, of asserting herself. It's not always direct confrontation, but she finds her voice, even in subtle ways. And the book even uses the word conjuring to describe it.
Conjuring? Like magic?
Not literally, no, but it speaks to her power, her way of shaping reality through language. She learns to use words to express herself, to defend herself. It's like she's developing her own kind of magic.
Like she's internalized all these verbal traditions, but she's turning them into something uniquely her own. It's like she's taking back control of her narrative. And I guess that big confrontation with Jody in the store is the culmination of all that.
Absolutely. It's a turning point in the novel. For so long, she's been silenced by him, belittled, controlled. And then she finally unleashes her voice, challenging his authority and reclaiming her own sense of self-worth. It's a powerful scene.
She lets him have it. It's like all those years of pent-up frustration and silenced words come pouring out. And you can see that it's not just about Jody, it's about all the ways society has tried to confine her.
Exactly. It's a declaration of independence. And it's important to remember the context here, too. Janie is constantly navigating this world where tradition and societal expectations, especially for women, are incredibly strong. Her choices, her desires often clash with those norms.
Like, think about Nanny pushing for the marriage with Logan. It's all about security, stability. It's the traditional path. And then Jody comes along, and it's a different kind of expectation. He wants a wife who reflects his ambition, his status.
Right. Janie's expected to fit into these predefined roles, to be the dutiful wife, the silent partner, but she yearns for something more, something authentic. Her longing for love, for genuine connection, it just doesn't align with those traditional expectations.
And the community doesn't make it easy for her either. There's so much gossip, so much judgment surrounding her choices, especially when she leaves Logan, and later, even more so, when she runs off with T-Cake.
It highlights the importance of conformity in Eatonville. Sticking to tradition, following the rules, that's how you maintain your place in the community. Janie, by choosing her own path, she becomes an outsider. She's seen as different, as a threat to the established order.
It's like they have this unwritten rule book for how a woman should behave, and Janie keeps tossing it out the window.
And the consequences of that can be harsh. There's a real sense of social isolation that comes with being perceived as different in a tight-knit community like Eatonville. It's a theme that resonates throughout the novel.
It makes you think about how we treat those who don't fit in, who challenge the status quo. Even today, it's something we grapple with as a society. And speaking of challenging themes, the novel doesn't shy away from depicting violence against women.
It's a difficult topic, but it's woven into the fabric of the story. You see it in Nanny's own history, in the way she was treated as a slave, the violation of her daughter. And then there's Jody, striking Janie, the tragic story of Annie Tyler, even Tea-Cake's act of jealousy.
It's a reminder that for all the beauty and joy in the novel, there's also this dark undercurrent of pain and vulnerability. It's a part of Janie's world, a part of the reality Hurston is depicting.
And I think it's important to remember that Hurston isn't condoning this violence. She's simply presenting it as a reality of the time, a reality that many women faced. It adds a layer of complexity to the novel, forces us to confront uncomfortable truths.
And it makes those moments of resilience and strength even more powerful. Like when Janie says, sometimes God gets familiar with us women folks too and talks his inside business. What a line.
So much packed into those few words. There's a sense of shared understanding there, a recognition of the unique burdens that women carry. It speaks to a kind of spiritual wisdom that comes from enduring hardship, from facing life's challenges head on.
It's almost like she's saying that God sees women suffering, understands their struggles in a way that others might not. It's a powerful thought. There's another line that really struck me. It comes after Joe's funeral, when Janie realizes. She had been getting ready for her great journey to the horizons in search of people. It was important to all the world that she should find them, and they find her. Why is that connection, that finding of people, so important to the world, not just to Janie?
I think it speaks to something universal, something we all crave as human beings. Connection, belonging, understanding. Janie's journey is a personal one, yes. But it also reflects this larger human need to find our place in the world, to connect with others who see us, who value us for who we truly are.
It's like her self-discovery is intertwined with her discovery of others. Her relationships, both the good and the bad, they shape her understanding of herself and of the world around her.
Exactly. And that's the beauty of the novel. It's a story about individual growth, but it's also about the power of community, the importance of human connection. And that connection is beautifully captured in the way Janie describes her love for Tea-Cake. Remember that sea metaphor?
Oh yeah, that's a good one. She says her love is like the sea of distant ships with every man's wish on board. The powerful moving sea that takes its shape from the shore it meets and is different with every shore. It's so evocative.
It shows how much her understanding of love has matured. It's not that static image of the pear tree anymore. It's fluid, it's dynamic, it's shaped by the individuals involved.
It's like she's come to realize that love isn't a fixed thing. It's an ever-changing force that takes on different forms depending on who's experiencing it. It's beautiful and complex, just like the sea.
Precisely. And that complexity extends to Janie herself. There's been a lot of debate over the years about whether she's a good female role model.
Right. Some people see her as strong and independent. Others question some of her choices. What do you make of all that?
I think it's important to remember that literary characters aren't meant to be perfect role models. Janie is a complex individual with flaws and contradictions. She makes mistakes, she experiences joy and pain, she grows and evolves throughout the story.
She's a human being, not a symbol.
Exactly, and that's what makes her so compelling. Her journey is about self-discovery, about forging her own path, not about conforming to any preconceived notions of what a woman should be.
And there have been other criticisms, too. Some scholars question Hurston's own perspective on Janie, whether her voice is truly her own or if it's sometimes overshadowed by male influences.
Those are valid questions, and they highlight the richness and complexity of the novel. There are layers of meaning to unpack, different interpretations to explore, and that's what makes studying literature so fascinating, isn't it? It's an ongoing conversation.
And I think it's important to acknowledge those criticisms, to engage with them thoughtfully. It doesn't diminish the power of the novel, it just adds depth to our understanding. And speaking of power, we can't forget Hurston's incredible writing style. Her use of language is just phenomenal.
Oh, absolutely. Her ability to capture the beauty and nuance of Black vernacular language is what makes her work so unique. It's lyrical, it's poetic, it's full of life.
And it was groundbreaking for its time. She brought a voice to American literature that had largely been ignored or dismissed.
And her influence on later writers, especially Black women writers, is immeasurable. She created a space for their voices, paved the way for them to tell their own stories.
It's a powerful legacy. And it's a reminder that even when work is initially met with resistance, it can still find its audience. It's time to shine.
Like a seed that takes root and blossoms, even in the most unexpected of places.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into Their Eyes Were Watching God, I think it's clear that Janie's journey resonates with so many of us. Her search for identity, for love, for her own voice, these are universal human experiences.
And we've explored the power of language, the complexities of community, the ways in which societal expectations can both shape and confine us.
It's a novel that stays with you long after you finish reading it. And as you reflect on Janie's story, we leave you with this. In a world that's constantly trying to define us, to tell us who we should be, what does it mean to find and speak your own authentic voice? Even when it goes against the grain, even when it challenges the norm, that's something worth pondering.
Absolutely. And if you enjoyed this deep dive and want to explore more insightful journeys through literature, be sure to subscribe to Motivation Library and like this video.
We'll see you next time on The Deep Dive.